So I think we're in the Bozeman lab, and the goHUNT guys are here, Brady and Lorenzo. They've been with us for a couple days, testing some Mountain Tough workouts with us. It's been cool. Maybe we start there and talk about the pack workout first. So we did a pack workout yesterday from the app, from the program. Maybe let's talk about what you guys learned, how it went, eye-openers.
So I was thinking about it last night. Like, I was thinking about going back to the football days, right? So it's the first day coming out of spring training where you put your helmets back on.
Yeah.
And it's your neck, it just kills you, right? It feels like your neck just can't hold up a helmet, even though a helmet's less than a pound. But just getting that back on and slowly getting back into it and getting those like neck muscles going, and then you move to shoulder pads, and then you move to the full pads, and then contact. So I was thinking about that last night. I'm like, it reminded me a lot of it because I'm sore in places that I remember from my backcountry hunts, but like not, like I've been training, been good. I usually don't get very sore, but like you start to realize like my breathing muscles right here from going against the packs on the straps on the back, like just my breathing muscles, shoulder muscles, top of the neck, like you forget how important that is. And I've definitely remembered hunts where I've gone in without training with a pack, right? Feel like I'm in great cardio shape. I do a lot of cardio training, like, starting late spring and into it where I'm all good to go. Like 2020, I was telling you, I've felt the best. That's the year I felt the best. But still, that first backcountry hunt, the first couple days, it's just like that neck and shoulder that you're not used to anymore, right? Yeah. And it's like that's what I remember in football too. It's first time you put your helmet on, you're like, how did I feel like I can't even hold this thing up, and I played in it for 4 months. It's crazy. So anyways, it was interesting to like actually train. And to be fully transparent, to get that hard of a workout in with just a pack, that was what was most incredible to me. Is like, you hear people training with just a pack or the at-home train, and you don't think too much of it. That was plenty hard. Plenty hard.
Throwing on a backpack when you go hunting, it's like you just wear it and go through it. But like yesterday, every single one of my muscles was like firing throughout the whole entire workout. Just crushed constantly. And I always thought too, like I'm in good shape when I go hunting. It's like, again, I was thinking last night too, it's like, when have I had a hunt where I thought of if I was doing more of that workout, what would benefit me? And like, I'm always like, oh, I leave a hunt and I feel like it was fine. But I'm like, all these times I'm packing out animals. Like that's when I'm really, really sore. And I am taking breaks, every little bit, hiking up a hill with a deer on my back. And it's like, if I could do this multiple times throughout the year, starting now, all the hunting season, I'm gonna be that much better. Like, I think I'm in great shape, but obviously yesterday proved I'm not really in full mountain shape at all right now, and just need to continue this. Like that was just eye-opening to me. Like,
couldn't agree more. Like we thought, how you guys say, always ready.
Yeah.
And it actually was a huge benefit for me mentally doing that workout in January, because I've realized I probably should start a little earlier this year. Like I just, I'm getting older. Have a kid, business is growing. It's just not as easy to be active all the time. And so it kind of put in perspective to me yesterday on that pack workout specifically is like, I probably should take it a little more serious earlier this year if I really want to get after it, which I'm hopefully going to draw the tag I've been chasing forever, which is massive backcountry. And that's the kind of hunt where the last thing I want is to not be able to keep up with where I want to go. And animals are all timing. Their opportunity at them is you'll have more opportunity if you can get to them faster, right?
Yeah. And they live in that stuff every single day, and they're super strong. It's like, I want to be as strong as they are because I have to keep up with them.
Yeah.
So, that put a lot in perspective. Like, honestly, how hard that workout was the most eye-opening, to think that you can make a workout that tough with just a backpack.
Yeah. That's cool. And it's simple. Those are 60-pound packs and sandbag. I think it's a super simple workout that anyone can do at home. And one thing that we learned early on in Mountain Tough was you can train someone in the gym all year round, and they're gonna go on their first backcountry hunt or their first hike, and their calves are gonna hurt, their hips are gonna hurt, and their traps are gonna hurt from the pack. because they haven't played with it at all season, even though they might have been crushing the gym. And so I think that 4 weeks of pack training leading up to season, or if you're training at home and the pack's all you can get, that it's just a game changer for the hunter. And I think there's this tendency with hunting fitness specifically where hunters don't want to work out if they feel like they're doing good in the mountains, like Brady mentioned. So they're like, I'm doing good, I'm feeling okay. But with Mountain Tough, the thing that we learned from our military DNA with like Alex being a Navy SEAL for 9 years was their motto was always, they have to go from op to op to op to op. And they don't have time to be sore for 7 days. And they know there's a way you can train to where you can go from op to op. And so we want our hunters to go from packing out an animal and not being sore for 7 days where they can just head right out again. I think that's where that training takes it to the next level.
There's no question about that. No question. Like Brady, we call him the spider monkey in the backcountry because it's crazy. Like his athleticism and what he does in the backcountry. Like when we were on a hunt together and watching him walk these, we were kind of cliffed out and he was walking these spines and, jumping over these little like cliff chutes and things to get to this deer, and it was incredible. So for him to think that he can get that much better from actually training this way, which he's,
I'm sold on it now. Like
to think how much better is kind of crazy after what I saw on that hunt we did together. But talking about the calves and the traps and all that, that's what would take you out of the hunt those first couple of days. If you're packed into the backcountry, like my right calf right now is torched, like it's gone right now. It would be really hard for me to hunt today if yesterday's work was my pack into the backcountry and that was the first time I put my pack on. My right calf right now would absolutely take me out of what I wanted to do today. Like it's way too tight, way too sore, and it's because I haven't trained with a pack on. Like my calves haven't had to feel that, those step ups we were doing and the lunges we were doing, my calves haven't had to fire off a toe with that much weight since last September. So it's just, it's those small, like you and Jimmy, right? Yep. Like you guys were talking the hip stability, when you do that first RDL, like the very first one I did, I immediately just went to the left and it's like, oh yeah, I need to fire that back up, It's just, it's obviously we train for a certain purpose, or at least I do, and I think a lot of hunters do. Football players are in the gym for football, and hockey players are in the gym for hockey. They don't do the same workouts, and then hunting's kind of the same way for me. It's been tough for me to find like ways I know I'm making my hunting better. I'll go to the gym and do a bunch of squats and a bunch of lunges and all those things, thinking that I'm making it better. But over these last couple of years that I've been really focused on, leg strength and stability, doing barbells and dumbbells, you aren't getting that backpack stuff. And it's like, it puts it in perspective really quick when you do that workout with backpack.
That's cool.
And I like how it doesn't take up any space. Like I could literally go home right now, grab my backpack, throw some concrete in it, and just do this workout multiple times a week and just be that much farther ahead. It's like I go to the gym, do a bunch of the standard gym workouts, but like I don't do that. I go scouting in the summer, but I'm not, at the level I could be if I kept doing this constantly. Like my mind was opened up yesterday, like, wow, I've been missing out. Like, no joke. Like, I can't wait to see what I do to the mountains this year. Like, just dominate them.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited about it.
Yeah, and it's simple.
Mm-hmm. So simple.
And I think one thing that is awesome about it that's pretty overlooked in hunting with backcountry hunting in particular is guys that can crush it without hitting the gym in their 30s think they're gonna crush it without hitting the gym in their 40s and 50s. And I think if they can incorporate this training now, it's gonna keep them on the mountain longer.
Absolutely. That's what we talked about yesterday at the end of the workout. Like I told you, when I was in my 20s, I didn't have to focus on trying to get better for hunting. I just knew I could hit the trailhead and go, right? I was an athlete, fell out of the gym post-athlete syndrome type stuff. But then I got back into it pretty quickly just based on hunting stuff. And it was easy. Like I never had to think about it. I knew I could hit a trailhead and go and be fine. And 28, You know, like I told you yesterday, 28's when I started to notice I should probably take it a little more serious pre-hunt, like maybe 90 days out. I should start doing a little more cardio, start doing more lunges, you know, push my lung capacity a little bit. And then 30 to 32 years old is where I went off a cliff with that kind of like shape that I could stay in. I mean, if I wasn't doing it daily, then I couldn't keep up with what I wanted to do. And it's a big deal as you get older, for sure. Like you're saying 40s or 50s. For me, it was in my 30s. You know, maybe I'm getting older faster than most people, but it's tough, man. Like I've noticed a huge difference just in my 30s, 34 now. But doing this type of training, it'll solve for those muscles that you aren't firing throughout the off season and the muscles that you aren't, you know, given the use to. So when you actually do hit the trailhead, like they're ready to go, just like your legs are from squats and just like your, you know, chest and shoulders are from all the upper body stuff and pull-ups. And it's like those hip flexors, calves. I mean, it's a big deal.
Let's jump into today. So today we shifted gears. We went from a pack workout to a gym workout. So today was about the guy that's not training at home, that has gym equipment or goes to a sweet gym. What'd you guys learn about today? How'd today go for you?
Well, I was a little sore from yesterday. I definitely could feel a lot of that working, but like, I don't know, all the different movements we kept doing throughout the day, those squats, standing on the plate, like I actually really enjoyed having my heels up a little bit, and I could feel like I could squat actually more properly because I have super long legs. And after the first one, going through the second one, I was like, oh my gosh, this weight now feels like it's 30 pounds heavier. Just like, it was crazy how different it is from going through the whole circuit and then just tackling it again. And whatever that little ladder thing is called.
Versa climber.
My gosh. You think like 200 feet's easy. Like, yeah, it's just 200 feet. We start doing it, like, oh my gosh, your arms, your legs, everything's just firing again.
Yeah, that was my first time on a Versa climber, not the Jacob's ladder. Not a fan.
We call it the devil machine.
Yeah, I can see why.
Just proves I need to do it more. Obviously, like that is very different than Jacob's ladder. Way different. That's a lot better. Hopefully I can find somewhere that has it where we're at. But perspective for me today was going leg workout to leg workout, how dead my legs were today. And all I kept thinking was, all right, if this was the second day of the hunt, I'm toast. Like I just didn't have it today. I didn't have my like explosive power. I didn't have that good feeling in my legs. Like when I got down to the bottom of the squat, it was like a grind to get out that first third of the squat every single time from the start to the finish. And in my mind, I'm like, all right, if this was the second day of the hunt, I'm done. Like I'm definitely not hunting the way I want to if this is how I went into it.
And I think too, it's like yesterday, like basically we packed out a bull elk. And today we had to go back in another, you know, maybe you had a tag and I killed yesterday. It's like, I want to be fresh today to be able to do that again. Like if we killed the bull today, like I feel like we could, after doing this for a while, we'll be ready to do a hard workout like that. Simulates packing out an animal and jumping into another leg workouts. Like you don't want to take a little break when you only have like 5 or 7 days to hunt. You have to pack out multiple animals or keep grinding every single day. Like
that's so common, especially if you think of your beginner backcountry hunter. I've seen it over and over again where they don't train, go on an awesome hunt, crush day 1, and then can't get out of the tent day 2 and 3. And sometimes it's a once in a lifetime tag just because they weren't prepared.
Absolutely. That would have been me today. Like I said, like I'm getting older. It's not as easy to be active, have my kid. Like I said before, I need to take it more serious earlier because if this was my second day, that's who I would be, right? I mean, I'd still obviously be able to get out of the tent. We got through the workout, but it was not good. Didn't feel good. It was not like, not how you would want to feel if that's the day after a pack in and now you're starting to see the animals you want to go after. Like that's not the feeling I want in my legs and back first day, right?
I think it's really good too, starting this like right now. Because like, yeah, we could start doing this once you draw a tag, but some of these tags you might not know if you draw it till like late June. Like then your season, you're already gonna start scouting or do stuff, you're gonna jump right into the season. Like you start now, I'm gonna be that much further ahead. I don't need to wait till I draw a tag. Like I should just be in shape all year for the mountains. Like,
and there's so much opportunity out there. Really you should, that's our thing is like, there is so much opportunity out there. There's no reason to just be sitting around going, oh, I hope I get this tag. Yeah. Well, make sure you have another plan. Have a strategy that if you don't have that tag, you're still going backcountry hunting or you're still going elk hunting or whatever it is you want to do. There's so much opportunity if you're hunting multiple states. Like, you're hunting every single year, which is the motivation of starting now. It's not, you're not watching football and hanging out and wait until you get the tag for it to be your motivation. You already know you're going hunting every single year. That's been a motivating factor for me, is like, no matter what, I know I'm going to have a tag somewhere. So get going and start. And I am more of a gym person. Like, I like the especially this gym, like I like the energy and I like walking into a gym. It kind of sets the mind of what the work is supposed to be. At home, you walk out into your living room. For me, like, my living room means a certain thing for me and my family. It'd be hard for me as like my personality to turn that into my gym. So I'm definitely more of like a gym energy, go to the gym kind of guy. So this workout, was definitely more my style. The sled pushes were awesome. Right now, I usually do sled pushes maybe once a week. Need to start doing those quite a bit more. I mean, that was definite takeaway from today too. But then just like not going to all the big equipment, which is what I would typically do, squat rack, right? Go immediately to the squat rack, immediately to, deadlifts and all these big lifts. But what you're missing is, like, when you're doing those the depth you get on those toe squats, it's different. It starts hitting different muscles. You're getting deeper into your squat, which is a lot of hunting. Like, when you're taking those massive strides uphill, it's not a lunge on flat ground anymore. Like, your depth of movement is way more. That's why I like those toe squats. Yeah, that was awesome. I like that a lot.
I liked how we kept going from one thing to another right away. Like, the toe squats into the whatever and doing the pushes. I was like, I need to find one of those old sled guys and start pushing that around, because I absolutely love that. Like, that was a workout. Like, when you're like up a little bit higher and then you do that low one, you're just like, whoa, you feel everything right there.
Yeah. The other thing too is, now thinking about it, is obliques. Like, with that pack on, doing those frog tucks. I thought when I first looked at the board in that workout you were going to have us do, I first looked at it thinking, all right, that's going to be a break off my legs. So, like, I'll be able to push the pace there and, get my breath back underneath me, get some blood out of my legs, hopefully. That was the hardest part with that pack on, because the stability of being in a plank position and lifting one leg up off the ground, it actually was hip and all oblique. And then today, doing the push-ups with the plate, just like doubling up on that same movement. Obliques too, like, now I'm thinking through it, just as calf, traps, neck, like, my obliques are pretty messed up right now too. And it's from that having to stay situated, right? Like, having to have that foundation underneath me. Yesterday with the pack, having not to sway back and forth, and then today with that plate. But my obliques too, that was, yeah.
Yeah, we talk about it as your chassis. So like an F350 Power Stroke is a big, strong truck, but it also has an incredible chassis to do the work it needs to do. And it's the same with hunters. Like, a hunter that is doing classic strength training but not working on their chassis is going to struggle when that pack's swinging around on their back, especially when you go to pack out an animal.
It's a really good analogy. I like that a lot.
That was a big takeaway for me.
But I think Brady nailed a key point, that is, you got to start now. And I think that's so easy for us. The Mountain Tough philosophy has always been that you should be doing this training all year, and it should be mission specific. And I think if you look at the NFL athletes have this pretty dialed now, where an NFL coach is going to train an offensive lineman for his specific job. And that's super unique training, because he knows what that player needs to do. But he's going to train the wide receiver completely different. And so if you're going to hunt, you might as well be doing mission-specific training to be the best hunter you can be. But the science if you take it from there, is so simple, that the science is that it takes 12 to 16 weeks to get strength and cardio adaptations. So if you are hunting in August and you start training in June, you might feel a little better, but you're so far behind the 8 ball that we always encourage all our athletes, it's got to be an always ready, year-long commitment. And I think the thing that helps most of our athletes kind of finally make that switch is it's got to be a little bit more than hunting as your why. Like if you're training to crush backcountry hunting this year, that'll get you off the couch, but it's probably not going to keep you training for 5-10 years. But if you're training to be a better father, then that's probably going to keep you training for 10-20 years. And so it's kind of like, it's a year-long commitment, but it's got to be about your identity, even though the hunt might get you started.
Absolutely. And that's like my motivation in the gym has always been to be life ready with my kid. You know, I don't ever want to be the dad that's like, you know, look, my kid's playing sports and everyone's looking at, it's kind of what's in my mind. But so that's always kept me in the gym. But for me too, it's always been tough to know that I'm making like a huge difference for hunting at the same time. Because like when I'm getting stronger and putting on muscle, it's like, all right, I need to do a little bit of a cardio test to see if I'm like actually going backwards with my use case for fitness and what I want to do. And that's essentially exactly what yesterday and today was for me. It's like that check-in point, and that's what I'm going to start picking up is like, clearly starting now and a lot earlier, but obviously doing these checkpoints a lot more often than I used to. Like I have no issue staying in the gym with the motivation of, you know, life ready and my kid and, you know, being the dad that I want to be in front of him and like set the standard for him. So he has something to follow and understand that, you know, life choices are as simple as an everyday choice, not just the big choices in life. But now having these like very hunting specific check-ins, like the pack training, that's perfect for me. That's a ton of motivation for me.
Yeah, it's helpful, super helpful. Because then you have the big why, but then you have these micro goals to crush.
Yeah.
What did you guys learn about mental toughness over the last 2 days?
A lot. Like there was times where I was like, yeah, we still got 2 more of these left. Am I even going to be able to go through it? And then there's like, even like being in here, like to support you guys, like constantly like, you know, saying, yeah, we're doing a good job. I'm like, am I really doing a good job right now? But like, you kept motivating and motivating. It's like, I want to succeed then. I want to do it. Then even we're on that little thing over there, like, you're like, yeah, you have 80 more feet to go. No stopping at all. I want to stop so bad, but you guys are both like right there, just like pushing me through it. And I'm like, you guys are here right behind me. Like, I can't stop right now. It's like packing out a big animal or going to chase a big animal. I can't stop because he's going to go over that ridge. Like, I have to get there. Like, that's what I kept thinking of. Like, I need to go to the next ridge to make that shot count. It's like, I have to be able to climb up that mountain, get it done. So like, I think that was huge. Just like knowing you can do it. Then once I was done, yeah, I was sore, but like, I'm gonna be so great coming up, keep doing this more and more and more. Like, mental game's gonna be just off the chain.
Yeah, for me, like mental toughness, always been a staking point just growing up in sports. But like, it's so easy to give yourself an out. Like I definitely do this time of year. It's like, it's so easy to give myself an out and just be like, oh, I'm just gonna get stronger, you know? Like that's all I'm really focused on. There's no reason to. So going through this style of workout the last 2 days, especially with you and Jimmy kind of on us the whole time, like when we were doing the lunge relay, so I'm thinking in my mind, all right, 80, you know, I'll get to 80. And then you guys kept pushing and no more breaks, keep going. Like, why not try to break 100 now? So it's like taking that mental toughness and resiliency in times that it's so easy to give up. Like for me, being in the backcountry and finally being there, that's like, there's motivation and mental toughness. It's so easy to get over. But when you don't have like a real, like you're not shooting for a real success thing, right? Like you're not trying to kill that bull or kill that buck. And you're in the gym, it's so easy to give yourself that out where it's like, yeah, you know, I'm just getting strong. It's all right. And like you set the numbers so much lower. Like I said, in my mind, I'm like, all right, if I get 80, I'm good. This time of year, it's so easy to give yourself that out. If you pick up on that now in January, right? We're mid-January. If you pick up on that now and every time you do one of these workouts, it's like that extra push when you don't really, like there's really not that motivation externally of an animal standing in front of you. That's where I see a lot of mental toughness, like forging mental toughness there is when it's easy to have the out. When, you know, I want to go home, whatever, it's cold outside, like it was freezing cold this morning for us. It's just, it's when it's easy to give yourself the out, that's when you overcome those in those moments, that's where I feel like mental toughness like mainly comes from.
That's self-discipline. Mm-hmm. It's cool because I think mental toughness is, if you treat it like a muscle, is an awesome way to look at it. Because like think about if we asked you to do that pack workout again, 3 days from now, how much better you would do. And I think part of that is like, you know you can do it. You've done it before. You know how fast you're going to recover at the very end. So that second time around, you guys would crush that workout. The first time was a surprise, but all we did was like bump that mental toughness barrier up a little bit. And now it's going to take, it would take a lot more to make you guys feel that way again because you've been there before. So for our athletes, it's like, let's put them in some painful places now so that when they feel that pain on the mountain, they're like, I've been here before. I've felt this before. I've been this sore before. My muscles have hurt this bad before. My heart rate has been this red line before. I know it's going to go away. It doesn't freak them out. It's not like a shocker to the system.
For sure. I definitely, yeah, for sure.
It's awesome.
Yeah. That's the mental toughness part. Like I feel like not a lot of people know what it is. A lot of people talk about it and kind of throw it around, but not a lot of people like absolutely know what it is. Mm-hmm. There's a guy named Fergus Crawley. I don't know if you know him. He's a hybrid athlete, but like he has a lot of really good takeaways on mental toughness too. And it's like the resiliency, building your resiliency. Mm-hmm. So he does these crazy things where he just doesn't let his resiliency go away. Like once he builds it, he forces himself to do it all the time. Yeah. So he knows he can do it again and again, and he's been there every single day. So when he does get into something just like a hunter would, it's like, yeah, this is common ground, common territory. We're here at least, a couple times, 3 times a week, whatever it is that person wants to do. It's like, it makes it that much easier when you get to that place again. It's like, yeah, I know exactly what's going to happen. Just got to keep going.
But in those uncomfortable situations and making them comfortable, like you've been there, you've done that.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Mentally tough people won't always be mentally tough if they're not working on it. So it'll, like we've seen it go away where someone was really mentally tough, but if they're not training mental toughness, it'll go away. And then if you see someone start working on it, they'll get it back. But it's like a daily habit, daily process. Like, where can I push myself today?
And that's that, like when it's easy to give yourself the out and you take it, like when you're just in the gym in January, that's an easy out. And you just take it and you keep taking it, your mental toughness is going to strip away pretty quick. Where if you get one more lunge or one more rep or one more round or whatever it is, like every single time that you're in the gym, that's what it is, right? Not giving yourself that out. And I'm sure you guys have seen it. It makes all the sense in the world to me that somebody like loses it quickly. Because if you take that out one time, then it's just that much easier to do it again, right? Yeah. Just the complete reverse. If you push yourself one more rep or one more round each time, it's going to build at the same pace it would have if you're giving yourself the outs every time that you're in the gym, right?
Yeah, it's like life is a sum of our daily small decisions, not these giant like super habits that people are.
Absolutely.
Well, let's dive into the promotion. We're super stoked this year. goHUNT is doing a promotion with Mountain Tough. So anyone who signs up for Insider will get 90 days of Mountain Tough training for free using the code TOUGH, which for us is awesome because we know that you guys are going to help them plan and execute on these tags. And we know that if they get these tags, they're going to need to be in shape for these hunts. So I think the always ready mentality, like you talked about, Lorenzo, is just a perfect matchup.
Yeah, that's for us. This is our season, like we were just talking about earlier. There's literally no reason for somebody to be sitting in their house saying, "Oh, I hope I'm going hunting this year." There's so much opportunity out there if you're willing to just be a little bit adventurous, cross some state lines, really figure out like your strategy, where you going into the season, going into January, we know exactly what tags we have, and we're just trying to fill them in with some of these other ones that we're saying, "Oh, I hope I get it," right? Mm-hmm. But there's so much opportunity and so much out there that it's guaranteed if you put the time in now, this is when it matters to actually build out that, what we call application strategy or multi-state strategy. And so being ready now is huge for us. We have desk jobs. That's what we're talking about.
We sit at the desk all the time. Yeah.
Thought we were starting a hunting company. It's a desk job. So, that being the motivation of like your hunting season, but getting started with Mountain Tough right now at the same time. Like I told you, I found you guys through one of the workouts that you sent an email, that Bora Bora workout. I did it one time when I was in Idaho on vacation when I was with my family. And I was like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is the active side, the mental side. Like, I have my strategy, and that's when I started reaching out and trying to get in touch with you guys, because I mean, it fits hand in hand, right? Start now, and just like we've been talking for the last bit about, doing these pack workouts and making sure your hip mobility is there, making sure your calves and traps, all that stuff's ready. Same thing as having that multi-state strategy right now and having the opportunity hunts lined out and just trying to fill them in with, those hunts that you're really chasing, the ones that you really want to go on. So, we're super excited about the partnership with you guys, because, I mean, it's same mentality in very different ways. You guys are clearly in better shape than us, as proven over the last 2 days. But this is your guys' world. You guys know it better than anybody of how to forge a better hunter, and we know how to make a hunter season as big or little as they want to make it, as efficient as possible, logistically sound as possible. So when they hit the ground, there is no wasted time, right? Like, that's what we solve for, is our products and what we do and what we preach is no wasted time once you hit the field, because it's such a finite amount. And not everybody can just go on a scouting trip and go, figure it out, boots on the ground. You always hear this talk about boots on the ground. Not everybody's that fortunate that they can just up and leave and go on a week scouting trip or go 8 weekends in a row and go do all this stuff. It's the people who can, that's awesome, but there's a lot of people who can't. And we do a lot for that DIY, that DIY hunter mindset, where he is just trying to make as much happen in the finite amount of time that he has. So when he hits the ground day one, there's zero wasted time. And this obviously goes hand in hand with that. Zero wasted time, and now you're talking about zero wasted mental toughness, effort, like knowing that you've been there before. It just goes hand in hand, in our opinion.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I even like being, like we were talking about earlier, like always being ready. Like, yeah, you might know what you're going to hunt this coming year, but even the bigger thing to me is all these leftover opportunities that just pop up. Like Colorado, leftover list, tags pop up. You want to be physically ready to go on that hunt. And starting now again, I know I'm going to probably pick up some leftover tags later on, because I always burn my points every single year because I just like to go hunting. I don't have a lot of points built up. I look for the easier opportunities. And if a leftover tag, everybody's like, hey, we got this leftover opportunity, let's go hunting in 2 weeks. Like, you want to be ready ahead of time. And that's why right now is why I want to keep doing this, so I can be ready to pick up a tag when one becomes available and just go. Yeah. Like, we're all getting older. Like, I want to start now and do this stuff so I can hunt hard this year, hunt hard next year, live a better life. Like, all this stuff just plays off each other, like, really well.
Yeah, for us, like, when the company was founded, we were, going through kind of our mindsets and what we stand for. I couldn't, as much as I love to hunt and as much as I like to do with family and friends, and now that I have a son, taking him and having those types of hunts that I know are effective for a 2.5-year-old. Mm-hmm. It's like, I couldn't imagine not knowing the information that was out there, like in a sound packaged way, where I could really figure out how to get every single season of mine lined up. And that's where we started, is like, everybody should know what's out there. Like, everybody should have these opportunities in front of them, so they know they can set these seasons up for year after year after year. You're going on an elk hunt, you're going on a deer hunt, you're taking your 2-year-old hunting if you want to. Like, they're out there. You just gotta, you gotta do a little bit of work and research for what fits your criteria and what you're looking for, and line out your seasons from there. And then again, with this on top of it, it's like, nothing's stopping you now. If you were scared of that backcountry hunt, why? Yeah. Now you got the best of both worlds. You shouldn't be scared of anything at this point. Like, get started now, get to work, get your season lined out, be ready to go.
Yeah, it's the perfect collaboration, because it's like, here's the perfect tool to make sure you're hunting this year, and then here's the step-by-step training plan so that that's a good experience. That's Absolutely. Super sweet.
Like you said, the people who are like nervous about that first backcountry.
Yeah.
If you do this, what is there to be nervous of? Like, if you redline yourself for 5 days in a row, right? What else is there? I mean, that's exactly what's going to happen in backcountry. So you know what it's going to be like. You know what you're going to feel like, how to overcome it, what it's going to take to rest. All right? Been there before, and it makes it that much easier.
That's awesome. Let's walk through quickly, just for the Mountain Tough listener who has not experienced Insider before. Let's walk through just quickly what that experience will be like for them when they sign up.
Yeah, so the main thing we solved for kind of like our secret sauce is all of the states, the Western states, the application states, they're all so inconsistent. It's very hard to understand how the neighboring state or, a state 2 or 3 away runs their application process, their hunting opportunities. Do they have over the counter? Is it a guaranteed tag, but you have to go through the draw? What type of, is it bonus point or preference point? All this stuff. And my eyes were first open to it when I went to college in Missoula, and I saw from local standpoint of, I made friends from Wyoming and Montana, North South Dakota, Washington, like getting to understand their state from a resident's perspective, the same way I could explain Nevada, Utah, and Arizona to them from my perspective. Like it makes all the difference in the world to understand that state, even though it's completely inconsistent from what you know. So what we've done is packaged all of these Western application states and made it ultra friendly to understand how that state works. Is it an opportunity state? Is it a draw state? What is it in that state that maybe piques your interest into it? If you're looking for, a certain elk you want to kill, or you're looking for a certain deer you want to kill, maybe you just want to kill blacktail and coos deer, like certain species, whatever it is. It's kind of that like motivating thought going into, okay, I want to hunt this. Can I do it this year? Our product will show you if it's doable this year, or if you need to fill in, a couple hunts before you can actually get to that point that you're shooting for. But yeah, our secret sauce essentially has been just packaging all these inconsistencies through the states and allowing a user to very quickly understand, like, okay, my state, Nevada, is a bonus point state. Utah's a preference point state. Very quickly allows you to understand what that difference is. Yeah. Utah has some opportunity hunts, Nevada does not. So we have those broken down. Colorado has opportunity hunts, Nevada does not. So it's very easy to understand, all right, this over-the-counter tag, done. Every single year I'm going to have that. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to chase my resident elk tag that's going to take me 5 points to draw. So I'm going to hunt elk for 5 straight years in the rut with a bow, become a better hunter, been there before, understand, animal activity. So by the time I do draw my Nevada tag, my resident Nevada tag, like I'm ready to go. That's the one I've been chasing, right? That's awesome. So it's this product that allows you to truly structure strategies for hunting.
It basically breaks down all the barriers of entry. Like, you're from the East Coast, you've never been out West before, it might seem super confusing, or you need a lot of points for it. You look at a regulation book, it's not going to show you where the opportunities are in a regulation book. It could say units, it could say seasons. That's all you really know. And so, like, compiling all this information to tell you, like Lorenzo said, a perfect example. You want to go elk hunting someday, and you've been buying points in a state because that's what everyone talks about, the dream elk hunt, the biggest bulls, lots of elk. It's like you've never actually elk hunted before. Are you going to be successful on that dream hunt if you don't take advantage of opportunities in other states? And that's what we do, is showcase you opportunities. Like, we joke in the office room, there's so much opportunity in the West. Like, you could really jam pack your schedule.
That's incredible, especially for me, like Montana kid, born and raised. It's always been like, I can hunt deer and elk here every year, but the other Western states are so intimidating because it's like reading a foreign language. Yeah. It's just crazy.
And that's where it started too, is so I'm not smart enough at all to be running my own draw odds and trying to understand a state's hunting opportunity through their proclamations that they produce. Mm-hmm. Like we get comments and stuff all the time of like, oh, well, Fish and Game produces all this information. All right, well, you go do that, because I did that for 6-7 years before we started doing goHUNT. Yeah. It is impossible to understand and strategize with these states if you're going through the state proclamation and trying to understand how that state works, right? It's like reading NRS codes. Yeah. Nobody truly understands it, right? You just pick up little words here and there, but
you even look at Montana's regulation book, they'll give you those little draw odds in the back. Those are horribly wrong. Those are just simple odds. Those are just how many people are applying, how many tags, that's your draw odds. Yeah. They don't take into account resident, non-resident quotas, how many people have bonus points. Like, you're not getting the full picture there. You're not getting, like, you can say, oh yeah, I'm going to draw that tag. Well, really, you need to look into it a little deeper here. That's what we help solve.
And it's funny you say that intimidation thing. It's like, well, where you guys start is don't be intimidated from any hunt that you're going on, whether it's a sheep hunt in Northwest Territories, 22-day backpack sheep hunt, which is like the ultimate, or a front country elk hunt where you're nervous about packing out a 800-pound animal. Put yourself in that position before you get there, and there's nothing to be intimidated about. That's essentially what our product does, is it takes away all of those barriers. So it's like, all right, I know, our e-scouting tool, all your logistics planning, exactly what trailhead you're going to hit, exactly how you're going to get there, exactly how long it's going to take you to hike, to the bull you want to get to. You're going to hunt that for 2 days. You're going to, cross basins, like the whole thing planned out. So when you get there, there's nothing to be intimidated about. You know everything that was there. And even previous to that, you have, you've always wanted to hunt blacktail or Coues deer. It's like, all right, well, our product shows exactly that. And Arizona is an interesting state, the way they run their applications. But it's not that hard if you just look at, if you let us break it down for you of how it actually works. It's really easy to get involved of hunting Coues deer in Arizona or blacktail in Washington. It's not hard.
That's awesome.
And it's the same thing too. Like, guys might not have, like we said earlier, boots on the ground. They don't have the time to go scouting. Like, I can sit there on a computer, look at all these units on 3D on our mapping software. I can figure out exactly where I want to go, plan it, mark all my waypoints, mark my water sources, my camp. So basically, like, it's like looking in the back of my hand by the time I get there. Like, I've intimately figured out every little nuance of the unit, so I know it so well before I even step foot in there. I'm putting myself at such a higher advantage, checking out everything on the computer ahead of time. I would love to go boots on the ground if I can, but you don't need to. You're guys from the East Coast, like, we have all the tools year round. Like, you can literally plan and research a hunt year round.
It's not always the case that somebody can go do that, right?
Yeah.
And for us, like, another one of our sayings internally is, we are not a mapping company. We are a hunting company. Hunting's in our name. Like, that's what we do. So like every activity, outdoor activity needs a map, right? Our map is very structured to hunting features and feature sets. So it's like, we partnered with one of the best mapping companies ever, and we built our hunting products on top of their mapping products. We don't want to be mapping companies. We don't want to be, a content company. We want to be hunting focused, right? It's like what we always tell everyone, it's in our name and it's never going away. So everything we do is just down that hunting vertical where it's like, all right, you need maps. Our maps are specifically tailored to everything you need for hunting. Like e-scouting maps, that's exactly what it is. In the field maps, it's exactly what it is. It's not, tidal conditions and, all this other stuff. Like, we are hunting only. So it allows us to focus on just that. It's like, that's what our use case is,
It's awesome because it's like, let's work together and maximize our time. Like, there's only so much time in life, only so much time in hunting season. So it's the same thing with Mountain Tough. Like, someone could spend months of research figuring out how a hunter should train. They could walk into the gym every day. They could write their own workout. But just like learn from the professionals, you guys, us, it's like decades of experience behind these products just so that they can maximize their time in the field.
That honestly, like I said, my takeaway from these last 2 days is exactly that. I've always struggled with, like, am I actually making a difference in my hunting prep? Like, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting whatever, I'm cutting weight. Is it good that I'm cutting weight though, or am I kind of losing the strength in some of the places that I need? Like, I want to drop 20 pounds before the sun or whatever it is, 15 pounds. But is it the right thing to do? You guys that's what you guys do daily and study. And so on the flip side of that, our world is structuring hunts and efficiently planning so you can have no wasted time. Yeah. You too, right? You can study for 3 months like I've been doing for the last years, came across you guys and I'm like, oh, okay, this is hunting specific. Like, this is the type of training I need to be doing. Backpack workouts, even though it's not really something you'd really think about. Like, I never thought a backpack workout could be that difficult. Mm-hmm. Like a true pack-in day, but in an hour workout. I mean, it was impressive.
Yeah, you guys completely changed my mindset and how I'm going to train, like, fully. Like, it's going to be an amazing, amazing season.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think if people just, they don't make life harder than it has to be, right? Like you said, you guys are the professionals of what you guys do. We're the, the leaders in what we do. So no reason for wasted time. Like, you want to go hunting, here it is. And if you want to be ready, then Mountain Tough, there it is. That's why we love the partnership. Yeah.
They can leverage their time for other things like dialing in their rifle so they're not bogged down by other things.
Which Brady can help them with.
I love my rifles.
We're stoked. Super glad you guys came out. Wrapping up, what's that dream tag you're trying to get this year?
It's a Colorado tag, high country Colorado.
Awesome.
And Colorado has so much opportunity in just the state itself. So I've been there this was my 10th straight year hunting Colorado, whether it be antelope, elk on somebody else's deer hunt. Their second choice opportunities in Colorado where you actually don't burn your points and you can get a second choice tag. It's like I've been hunting deer 6 or 7 of the last 10 years, even though I'm not burning my points and I'm still growing towards this hunt I want. So I've hunted Colorado. I know what it is. I know everything about it. It's one of my favorite states to hunt. And I'm just waiting on this one tag, but it's like structuring that strategy of like, all right, I've been there before. I've actually been in the unit before, not for deer, but like I've been there. I know exactly what it is logistically. I know the roads. I know where I would want to be. I saw some really good deer when I was hunting elk in there. So yeah, that's the tag I've been chasing for a long time, but it's not like that depressing chasing the tag. Like I have so much information from just going hunting there over the last 10 years. It's it hasn't been hard to wait for. Now it's just getting really exciting that I'm right on the level to actually have the tag. So I can't wait.
That's sweet.
Yeah, to me, I've already picked up my most anticipated tag. I picked an Idaho general season deer tag, which general season deer, but Idaho to me is like all this stuff makes sense to me because I like to put myself in uncomfortable situations, go where people don't want to go. So that's a hunt I look forward to every year because it's mentally hard, it's physically hard. I'm more prepared for it now. And then the only other hunts I'm really looking forward to is I just stack all deer hunts on top of each other. Like I just love mule deer so much. And like I don't have enough points to get into Wyoming, but I possibly could. So I hope I have a early September high country mule deer hunt in Wyoming. And if not, then I'm definitely gonna do like Lorenzo said, do the whole like second choice Colorado. Like I don't have any points because I burned my point last year. Like I will pick up a tag in some unit in Colorado and just go hunting. Like I will find a deer, just give me a tag and I'll have a great time.
Have you ever hunted Colorado?
I have not.
Were you ever aware that there's that second choice in
Not
their
really.
application?
I'm terrible at applying for other states.
It's an amazing thing. Like you can hunt Colorado in third season, fourth season, second season.
Even high country muzzleloader.
Even high country muzzleloader, and you don't have to burn your points. It's amazing. And then there's a lot of other states that have opportunity that is similar, but not exactly the second choice thing. But it's
we can still hunt and still gain points for future hunts. Like sign me up for that.
I can't think of anything better of like, okay, this is the tag I'm chasing, right? But I'm still hunting deer for the last 7 of 10 years in Colorado. I've hunted elk in the unit that I want to hunt these deer in. I saw deer that I would have shot if I had the tag while I was hunting elk. What's better than that? Like talk about being ready when you hit the ground.
It's
know
crazy.
exactly where I'm going.
Yeah, a guy we train with at 10:30 is like our sacred training hour where the Mountain Tough staff trains together. And Jimmy's always got us out in front, like testing the latest and greatest. And then we kind of perfect it, test it on locals, and then get it online. There's a guy that trains with us named Rich, and I was talking to him today because he killed an amazing 180-inch mule deer in Colorado this year. And so I told him you guys were in town. I was like, are you using goHUNT? And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, that did not take me that many points to draw that tag. And they drove down there. Like his buck was so beautiful, but his buddy killed a great buck. But like he was working out with us, hopped in the truck, drove to Colorado, was back in 7 days. Like it made it simple for him for sure, which was awesome.
It makes it doable. Like it really does make it doable. We don't struggle finding hunts. Like a lot of people say, oh, it must be nice to, be in a hunting company. I would love to say that we built a hunting company, but it's a tech business really. We sit at desks all day long. It's hard to get away. It is really hard for us to get out of the office. And so it's like we have to maximize our time too. Efficiently and strategy, like our time has to be maximized. We're all looking to get back in the office as soon as possible. He's an animal. He's the kind of guy that'll drive back into town and get on his computer. Like while he's on a backcountry hunt, he'll 2 days in the backcountry, he'll hike out to get on his computer and then hike back in. Like talk about somebody who can't waste time. It's crazy.
It's awesome. Well, thanks guys. Stoked you were here. Glad you tested the program, the workouts. We're pumped for the collaboration. I think it's the perfect fit.
I agree. Fully agree.
I can't wait to get home and set up my little garage a little bit better and start doing these backpack workouts.
You're a garage gym guy?
Yep, I'm gonna be now. Like I'm the standard guy before, but like that opened my eyes. Like I said, it was awesome. Every single part of my body felt like I was getting worked out. Like it's gonna make me crush the mountains.
I was thinking the nice thing about us being in the desert, like that backpack workout, I can test that once a month outside, which is where I would prefer to be, right? Like I can go up into the mountains, like Red Rock Canyon for us. I mean, it's beautiful up there. Like I can go test that once a month and make sure that I'm staying on pace for where I want to be. Like that's exactly what I was thinking, is actually bringing that into like a benchmark workout, like a test point.
Yeah, that's what all the Mountain Tough programs do, is kick you outside like once a week in a ruck workout, because we want to test your fitness, but also like, how do your boots feel? Or did you wear the right clothes? Do you know how to hydrate? You need to figure out all that stuff out before the hunt. For like a beginner hunter, that's game-changing stuff.
Salt and carb sensitivity. Like I am pretty carb sensitive. Like I'll drop quick if I'm not keeping up on it. Like when I'm on a backcountry hiking, like I'm the guy that's got all kinds of quick little snacks on my belt, because I'll fall off a cliff quick if I'm not staying on top of it. Like salt, potassium, carbs for me. And it is very nice to know that before you get there, like what your body needs and takes to feel good. Yeah. Like as you start kind of redlining a little bit and you get that feeling, knowing how to bring yourself out of it quickly to keep going. Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, you do not want to figure that out on once in a lifetime mountain goat hunt.
No, sir.
No. And boots too. We get that all the time. Yeah. Boots are, everybody calls us, what's the best boot? Whatever one you work in, right? Like if you put them on and you like them, that's the best boot.
Yeah. Test them out.
Yeah.
Sweet. Drink some water today.
Oh yeah, we're gonna drink a lot of water.
Crush some water.
I appreciate
it. It's like off a plane in elevation, cold as shit from where we're from. Couldn't think of anything better.
Yep.
Perfect setup.
Amazing time.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.